Hi chess friends, welcome to this new video about Superbet Chess Classic, and today we have a game by Alireza Firouzja. He has won against the world chess champion Ding Liren, and now he has won against another super big champion, the challenger of world chess champion Ian Nepomniachtchi. In this game, Alireza plays with the white pieces, Nepo plays with the black pieces, and we can begin. d4 by Alireza, knight f6 by Nepo, and knight f3. Typical development, d5, e3, and now c5 to attack in the center. We have bishop e2. It's not a really common move this, but is correct. And now knight c6. We have a castle by white and bishop g4 to continue the development. h3 to attack this light square bishop, and bishop come back. We have a d capture for c5 and e6. Typical to open up the diagonal for the bishop, and in this way black will capture this pawn and will develop the bishop at the same time. We have a3 by Alireza, and now bishop capture for c5. b4 to create some attack on the queen side by Alireza, and now bishop come back, bishop d6 to keep an activity on this diagonal. We have knight d2 and queen e7 by Nepo. Bishop b2. This bishop here is so strong, so a good move of development by Alireza. And now rook d8. Rook here is has a lot of activity, and Nepo will castle really soon and will finish his development. We have c4 by Alireza to create some weakness in the center, and now d capture for c4, and here you can capture the pawn with the knight, because follows simply this bishop h2, and this rook then can capture the queen. Okay, so you have not to fall in this bad tricks. So you could capture with the bishop. It is a possibility. It's a completely equal position. Here black could simply castle, and here white has to move his queen, for example, here, and the game continues. Okay, but here Alireza decided for another idea. This pawn will be lost because he is attacked 2 times. So Alireza plays for the activity and plays queen a4. Queen a4. This knight is pinned, and this queen here is attacking this pawn that is defended by the knight for now, but queen here is so strong, and next move will be a capture of this pawn. Okay, and in this way prevent the push of b5 to defend the c4 pawn. Okay, we have c3. This pawn will be lost, so Nepo decide to push c3 and obliges the capture with the dark square bishop, and bishop c3, bishop for c3. We have a castle by black, and now knight c4 to attack this dark square bishop. Nepo decide to play knight e4 to counter-attack this dark square bishop. If white capture knight for d6, black here has a move like knight for c3, and this is a problem because there is a double attack for this queen and for this light square bishop, and queen has only 1 square. You can come here on the 1 because there is a knight. Okay, the knight here, and after the queen move you can see knight capture with check, and this is a check, so queen has to capture, but now this rook can capture the queen. And here can you see that white is completely lost because black is up a piece, this bishop. Okay, a knight for knight, but black is up a full bishop that is pinning this knight, and obviously this is losing for white. Okay, so this was the idea of Nepo. So Alireza decided to play bishop b2 to keep this strong dark square bishop on this diagonal, and now knight g5. The idea is to put pressure on the knight of f3 that is pinned, and leaves this dark square bishop. So we have knight capture for d6, bishop capture for f3, bishop capture for f3, and knight capture for f3, g capture for f3, and rook capture for d6. Okay, after a lot of changement of pieces, we reach this position, and the pawn structure of white is ruined, but this position can be held. Maybe in the future there will be an idea to bring the rook here, to give some check, to bring the queen here, okay, to give always a check for the black king, and maybe attack this pawn for the queen. Okay, this will be a target for the dark queen maybe in the future, because this pawn is weak. This is a possibility. Another option here for white is for black, sorry, is to come back with the dark square bishop and to keep like white did it. The black is the same, okay, could do the same. Completely solid position, and after this push, for example, this knight here can be moved, but it's a draw position because there is knight here, and after this capture, look at this. Can you see? Queen g5 check, and king has to come here. It is not important if white is up a piece, up a knight, because this queen here is so strong and will do an easy draw. You can defend this pawn, can you see? And white here has to defend from the checkmate, from the queen capture for h3 checkmate. The only way is to play this, but this is a check, and king has to come here, and the game is will finish in a draw for a repetition. So this was a possibility for black, but Nepo decided not to come back with the bishop, but to play, like I said, knight g5, okay? And here white has to capture this bishop. If you try something like to move this knight to defend this light square bishop, the only move is this, you get in trouble, okay? Because if you are thinking like I just move my knight to one pin, okay, because this knight here can be moved, and now knight here defends really well the bishop on e2, okay. Here there is a problem, because knight here can be, this knight on g5 can be sacrificed in this amazing sequence, knight capture for h3 check. And here, if white capture, the queen joins to the attack. Queen g5, and look at this. Look at this dark square bishop, this light square bishop. This queen comes on g5. Amazing attack. And here, you have to cover. If you try something like this, can you see? There is no possibility for white to do something. Sorry. For white to do something. This pawn is attack, and the position, if you try to defend, there is a knight hanging, the rook hanging, so what can you do here? So bishop has to cover, but simply change, and after you can't capture. If you capture, it's easy checkmate, can you see? Sorry, not this, but okay. So you have to be careful at this sacrifice, because there is a bishop, pair of bishop really strong, and the queen can come here, and this knight here will sacrifice in a really good style to destroy completely the defense of white king. So the only good way to continue, and Alireza did it, is to play knight capture for d6, okay? So we have a bishop capture for f3, like the sequence that I show. And after this queen capture for d6, here there was a possibility to play like rook d1, one of this rook, okay. But here Alireza decided to play after rook d1, sorry, rook d1 here is correct. After queen c7, now we have exchangement of rook, and now b5. This was a, sorry about that. This was an idea, the idea of Alireza. In change of a ruin structure of this pawn, because this pawn structure is not good, you know, but he decided to play this to prepare the push b4, b5, and after this knight move, because this knight has to be moved, knight e7, Alireza can take a pawn. a7 pawn, Alireza is up a pawn, and not only this, because the a pawn and the b pawn will be so dangerous. So now we reach an important position of the game, because if white here is able to promote one of these pawn, will win, or if black is able to do some attack and use this weakness of double pawn and attacks the black king, the white king will win black. There are some idea, for example, rook can come on d5, the queen has to be activated in some square, the knight can jump on f5, okay. There are some possibility, and this bishop here for white is so strong, and white has to activate the rook and has to promote the pawn, okay. This rook here can be activated, but not here, but here, for example, rook c1 to attack the dark queen, okay. So knight f5 like prevented, and now rook c1, queen d7 to save the queen, and now queen c5. Now queen here in the center. Keep an eye on the b5 pawn that was attacked by the dark queen, and the idea is to prepare the push a4, a5, okay. h6 by Alireza, by Nepo, sorry, and now a4. We have rook a8 to try to counterattack on the a file and to try to block this pawn, but we have queen b4. This queen here is so strong, defends everything, all these important pawns. Okay, and now queen d3. Nepo here is trying to do something. He would like to activate his queen and to give some check, but it's not easy position. For computer is a good position here, for is a better position for white. Okay, if you try something this to block this diagonal, yes, this bishop here is not so strong, but white here is also still winning, and this pawn will be a weakness, the e6 pawn. Okay, so we have queen d3, and now a5. This pawn now seems to be unstoppable. Now queen e2 and a6. The idea is to sacrifice a pawn, because if black here try to capture this pawn, you push simply b6, and this pawn is unstoppable. You can do something, because you can do nothing, because b7 will come, and then rook c8. You have to block this pawn, right? You play something like this, but look at this, b7, and here you can't block rook c7, rook c8 check, and the promotion is unstoppable. Okay, you try to attack the queen, but queen continue to keep an eye for this pawn, and there is no possibility. Queen come here, but look at this. Because if you play this, white here is losing, obviously. Okay, because the queen guards the c8 square, but white here can simply play rook c7 and continue to defend this pawn, and this pawn will be unstoppable. The bishop can come on the attack like e5. Okay, so after we have queen capture for f3 by Nepo, but now here white has a completely winning move, and if you want to try to find, Okay, this move is really important. Remember, when you are up material or you have a pass pawn that can be easily promoted, you have to simplify material, you have to change. And here we have queen g4. And the idea is simple, is to threat checkmate in this way. There is a knight here to defend, okay? Really careful. So it's not real checkmate, but also attacks the queen. This knight can be moved because there is a checkmate, and queen is attacked. Sorry. Queen is attacked, and here black has to capture the queen. Here Nepo find another idea, because if captures the queen, there is a h capture for g4, and after this knight has to come back, this bishop join to the attack, and look at this. It's not important if black captures this, because another time you can't defend in this way. There is a rook here, the bishop that covers the b8 square, completely winning for white. So here black can capture, has to sack the knight, and after this capture, this is completely winning, because here Alireza is up a full bishop, and this pawn can be easily stopped. Will activate the king on this diagonal, and the endgame will be really easy. Okay, so here Nepo want to try to survive and find another idea, is queen c5. Queen c5 saves the queen, and this knight continue to defend this pawn, but now Alireza put pressure and push e3, e4. This queen is attacked, this knight is attacked. You can't really move this knight. If you move this knight, you lose for checkmate, okay? Like I said before. So here we have d capture for b5. Nepo takes a pawn and attacks this dark square bishop. So if white here captures the knight, Nepo could take this bishop. Okay. And there is a problem. Here there was a possibility to defend this bishop in this way. This knight can be moved, and after this capture we have this easy endgame for white, sorry, because there is also a bishop and a rook and a queen for a queen and a rook, and here it's winning. White here can create f4 after this push, because if your opponent tries to close the diagonal of your bishop, you have to open up the diagonal of your bishop. Okay, remember it. And here obviously black can capture because there is checkmate, but here like this and another threat of checkmate, and this is winning. Okay, so here Nepo Alireza plays another move, miss the idea rook c2, but also good move, bishop a1, and here we have queen capture for a6, sorry, and now after e capture for f5, we have queen capture for a1. The only move here, black has to give his queen for a bishop and the rook. Rook capture for a1, rook capture for a1, check, king here, and now we have this endgame where black has 5 pawns and the rook. White has only 3 pawns but a queen, and queen here is so strong, and there is no way for black to do something here. We have a changement of pawn, e capture for f5, g capture for f5, queen capture for f5, and now rook a6. The idea is to activate this rook and to try to do something like here, okay, and to defend some pawn. We have h4 to create a weakness on the king side and to try to ruin the pawn structure. Here black has to try to create a fortress, and white has to try to destroy it. We have g6, and now queen d8 check. King has to come here, and here h5. Instead to capture this pawn, you could it, obviously it's always winning. White has no reason to take instantly, because this pawn can be defended. So before h5 to prevent this push h5, and now g5. We have queen c4 and rook e6. Nepo tried to keep his rook on this 6th rank, and instead Alireza tried to keep an activity of this queen to block this pawn and to attack this not only the b pawn but also the e7 pawn. We have queen c3 check, king has to come on h7, and now queen f3. And now there is a problem. This is a double attack. The queen here is too strong and you can defend both pawns. So we have king g8 to defend the f pawn, but queen capture for b7, and now king g7. We have king g3. White has to activate his king. King g8, queen d5, king g7. Nepo can only repeat some move, and now king g4, rook a6, queen c4 to stop this check on the rook on a4, and now rook d6. We have some move. Alireza continues to attack this rook and rook e6, queen d4 check, king g8, king come here. On f5, some move, continue to attack this rook, and rook come here, and now queen c5. And here rook has no square, because here the g6 square is covered by the pawn. Here is covered by the rook. Can't come here. Yeah, on e6 the only possibility. If you try something this, it's winning for white, because there is this queen check and there is no possibility to save the rook. So the only square is not important what you play here. If you try this, there is always a check, and after king move, the white can simply sack the rook, okay? The queen, sorry, because this is a completely endgame. This king here is so strong. However, we have another move by Nepo, rook d3, but king f6, rook f3 check, king e7, and now there is no check for black. There is no rook e3, and after rook e f4 we have queen c8 check, king has to move, and now queen f8, and after this check, this king here blocks the f6 square, and this pawn blocks the g6 square. King has to move, and now queen capture for f7. Rook has to give. Here Nepo resigned completely, because after this capture, this is really the endgame. What can you do here? If you push this pawn, you will lose, because white will capture. If you move the king, there is king here, and this king will take all this pawn before the h6 pawn, and then the g5 pawn, and the white here is completely winning. So what an incredible return by Alireza Firouzja. His incredible aggressive style. He's such a genius player with a lot of creativity, and I think he will continue with a really good tournament at Superbet Chess Classical 2023. And now there are some players that are playing really good, like Wesley So, Fabiano Caruana, and Alireza Firouzja. Instead, Nepo and Dig has only few points and are not up in the classical, okay, in the score. So thank you very much for watching my video. Remember to subscribe to my channel, and see you soon with another video. Thank you. Bye bye.